You're going to be learning third conjugation verbs with their imperfect and future tense endings this week. So first pull out your chart books and look at page 7. You're going to want to fill in these charts as you go along. So the first thing you'll notice is there isn't a separate conjugation chart for third conjugation imperfect. That's because first, second, and third conjugations all have the same endings for imperfect, so you know them already. The only difference is that the weak E of third conjugation becomes a strong E in its imperfect form. So again, second and third conjugations look the same in the imperfect. And because of that, you'll need to memorize the principal parts for each verb so you can easily tell which conjugation the verb belongs to. So, for instance, you know how to tell which conjugation a verb belongs to by looking at its infinitive, which of course is the second principal part. First conjugation, you know, ends in an ARE. Most of the time the A has a macron above it. Second conjugation ends in, the infinitive ends in ERE, also with a macron. But third conjugation ends in an ERE, no macron over that E, so that's the reason we call it a weak E. It's not lifting any weights. There's no barbells above it. It's a weak E. All right, so that is only a problem in imperfect, because here we have the imperfect forms of the verbs. Here we have the second principal parts, or their infinitives. If you don't know the infinitive, you do not know which conjugation it belongs to. So you can see a skende bam, it has that strong E, but if you look at the infinitive, there's no strong E, so we know that that's third conjugation, and that does matter for the other tenses. So habebamus, again, strong E. You look in the infinitive, there's also a strong E, so that tells us it's second conjugation. E wedibas, strong E, but look here in the infinitive, it's a weak E, so it's third. First is pretty easy because it doesn't change. Strong A, so it's first. Pete bant, it is a strong E. Looking in the infinitive, it's a weak E, so it's third. Same thing here with quaerebas, quaere. So remember, this is it sounds like an A, a long A, and weak E sounds like an like in pet. Okay. All right, so this is also third, and the last one, we have strong E and a strong E, so it's second conjugation. All right, so if you don't know what conjugation is, something is, look in your glossary and go to the infinitive, the second principal part, look for that strong E or the weak E, and that will tell you. That's all there is to it. Otherwise than that, they're formed perfectly normally. All right, third conjugation, future. Now, the future tense marker is an E. If you take a look here, in all forms except, right, first person singular. So if you look, first person is an but we've got an E, strong or weak, in all the other forms. And if you look at what's left after I take the E, it is mus, tis, so it's the regular present tense endings. And it might help you to remember how to form this tense by thinking eventually, there's your E, the present will be here. So present meaning, right, reminding you it's future. These are present tense endings. And the other thing is that it's got an E. Eventually the present will be here. So you remove the entire ERE from the infinitive and add an E. And the reason we add one back in is because future tense is different, and add the present tense ending. So go ahead, you're going to write this chart in your chart books. Take a minute to do that. And then what I want you to do is pause the video and take a moment to practice a synopsis. And it's winko, winkeri, wiki, wictum. Remember, second principal part, you're going to take off this time the whole ERE. Then there is your stem. All right, then I want you to turn the video back on and check yourself. Now, you might think you have this in your head, which is usually what happens with Latin students. Oh, this is easy. But to actually do it on paper, and it actually may be harder in real life than in your head. So plus writing it down will help your brain to remember the process. So go ahead, we're going to do synopsis. Pay attention. It's third person. I'm asking for present imperfect, future, and perfect. Pause the video, and when you're done, put the video back on. So here is the correct synopsis for Winko, Winkeri, Wiki, Wictum in third person, singular, and plural. That's all there is you're going to have to learn this week. Now we're just going to put it into practice.